I have got a pattern and a baby and a different face. I have got a pattern. I have got a pattern. I have got a pattern. Let me slow it down. Head, shoulders, knees. 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 I am gonna switch it one more time, but I won't tell you. But I think you'll know what to do. It will switch. It will switch. You have really got it. Be here, and here, and here, and here, and here. My name is Katie. I'm a teacher who's in the 4s, 5s last year. If you're someone who knows me, you can do the yes signal. If you're someone who I am new to, you can give me a little wave. Someone that's new to everybody is this person here. Her name is Avery.
I know.
Last year, if you know Avery,
and she was so silly.
I really want to bring her out, but something that I know about Avery, you can see she's starting to. I'm going to take her out of this special carrier I have. It kind of has to stay quiet like this. But this whole group really knows how to do that. Whoa. This whole group really knows how to do it. I'm going to bring Avery out. I have a bag with a few things that Avery really enjoys and likes to use. She might start crying, and if she does and the noise gets loud, or if she does something really funny and the volume gets really loud, raise a hand if you have an idea of what we could do as a group to help Avery stay nice and steady. And then I can call on you when you hand up like Zeke. I have to tell you what. I've got supplies for that. I've got exactly what we need because babies are so little and their bodies need to do that. And as a grown-up, my job is to take care of that. And your job, though, Zeke, if that does happen, what do you think you can do so it doesn't feel too crazy for Avery?
Also, your husband. Well, wherever she is, please don't touch it.
Thank you. If you stay back in your seats, that's just right. As 5-6s, what you can do to help.
When I touch a poop.
Zeke, I'm going to move on because look around. Oh! What's your name?
Oh, Zachary, and did you know that we can't just go into the circle and just step on it because it'll hurt the baby, and we don't want to and she has plenty of place to crawl because they don't find the base. And she cannot go out.
So what you're saying is to keep this space nice, wide open so the baby's safe?
And also not.
Hola.
And also not to go out the door. Well, Evan's walking.
I see 2 more hands, and then I'm going to take Avery out of this carrier, and I can answer other questions my kids get to watch and see and look at her a little bit closer. What's your name, Katie?
Kira.
Kira.
But we can sing a lullaby if she cries.
Put a thumb up if you think. If she starts to cry, if you could help me with a lullaby. Oh, what a good idea. Do you see what Flynn just did? If it feels like too much, if she starts to cry, Flynn did this signal. She goes, it's too much. And you can protect your own ears if it's too much. I spy with my little eyes. 3 more hands are up. I'm going to take your questions, but I'm going to talk to you what I'm doing right now because I can see Avery's going, I really want to get out and see these kids. The first thing I'm going to do is I carry this bag around with me. Raise your hand if you think you know why I have this. What do you think, Noah Ruff?
If she
Raise your hand. That's true, this would protect the carpet. I have it out for another reason, though.
Because if she's sleeping and if she's really tired, you can always if she's sleeping, you can put her on the blanket.
So we had another suggestion. If kids see Avery out and everyone starts to scoot forward, how do you think that might feel for Avery?
Scared.
Raise a hand next to Is.
Scared.
It's gonna feel like a lot. I have to tell you something. She is 2.5 months old. She's been alive about the same amount of time that you've been 5, 6 in this room. She has never been around this many kids. Ever. So this is her first time. There's 21 kids. That's a lot. Guess what? She's only been around this many kids. If you look at what Keen is doing right now, he is so steady and ready for this part. I'm going to start to unfold her. She might cry, and if you raise your hand, I will call more kids. So I'm pulling this fabric that I've tied in a special way. You can hear her. You listen really carefully. She'll make some noises. I'm going to pull her out. I'm going to face her so all of you can see, and then I'm going to lay her down on the blanket, and I'll take more questions. She's waking up. She's a little sweaty. So Avery really likes to stretch. And just say hello over here. I'm going to walk Avery around because she seems like she's in a really good mood. Stay just where you are. And then I'll put her on the blanket.
Can I touch her?
I'm going to, when I come around after the meeting, you can touch her foot afterwards. I saw another hand up over here. Did you have a question? What was your question?
I actually know how to deal with babies because I'm a big sister.
Can you give me one tip of something I should do with my baby?
I do know how to hold bottles. You have to hold them kind of like this is a big bottle. Like I don't know.
So I'm going to put Avery down and let me see if I'm doing it the way that you're suggesting. Avery's going to go down, 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 down. Ooh. And I'm going to put her binky back in and stay right back. If you sit crisscross, I'm going to do the same thing. Ooh. Crisscross. I'm going to be back. I'm going to let her be this way. I'm going to put this binky in her mouth because that was a tip I also got. I said she like that. So I have a bottle like this. Should I hold it like that?
Yeah, like this.
Like that. And see how the milk just...
Oh, is that you see?
That's a great tip. Raise your hand if you have another question or comment about Avery or babies. And stay back in your seats at the very end. Shakur, is that okay when kids get caught up the rug that they could touch your foot?
No, but when...
Kira, I'm going to take your question.
Oh,
Ooh, she really wants
I have a comment.
What's your comment?
I noticed he's wiggling.
She is just getting used to the world, and she is doing some squiggling and moving and shaking, and she's getting ready.
And she's digging her nose. No, but how do you know?
I'm seeing a lot of hands on folks that I've called before. Does anyone who hasn't had a chance to speak have something they want to say? And I'll get to other folks too. If you don't have time during the meeting, I can take some questions afterwards, or you could always write me your questions and I could write back to you folks.
But I only see one.
Let's see, what is your name?
No.
Would you tell me what your comment or question is?
She's really good.
She is a girl. Her name is Avery Grace McCarthy, but we just call her Avery. Is your hand up? Is your hand up? No? Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking for anyone who hasn't had a chance to have their voice heard at the meeting just yet. Mia.
How do you lay her down?
Oh, should I do it again? All right. When I lay her down, I support her back and her neck at the same time. She's really looking around. It's like, I don't know these faces, but they look so familiar. So I hold her neck and her bottom, and I lay her down very carefully.
Thank you.
She did. She's really learning how to use her legs
She's
and her
like
arms.
this.
No red.
How do you know I'm gay?
Say that again.
How do you know I'm actually gay?
I know some kids because folks like Chase and Joaquin and Izzy and Sammy and Flynn and Layla were in my class last year. And then there's other folks that I know from the 5-6s from Anne's class. And then there's other people I say, hi, what's your name? And that's how I get to know their names. I'm going to take 2 more questions, okay? And then if folks, what do you folks do after this?
Work time, so I have to separate their, they'll pick their work time.
Would it be okay if I sat at a table for a little bit so I can answer any last questions? Because I see that there's a lot of hands up. Zeke, do the steady question. Or is it a silly one?
I think she wants her milk glass.
Go for it.
Does she know how to walk yet?
That is a great question. Zeke, do some close looking. Do you think that she knows how to walk yet?
No.
Give me a yes or a no. What do you think, Zeke? Other folks, what do you think? Do you think she knows how to walk? Use your eyes. What are you observing? What are you seeing? I see some yeses and some no's. Zeke, look at what she's doing with her legs. She does this kind of bicycle kicking. She's getting all of her muscles ready, but her muscles are not ready just yet to do walking or even to do crawling. Not just yet. She's getting there. It takes a lot of time.
How does she get around?
Ah, that's a great question. How does she get around? One way she gets around is I use this special carrier. Another way is I hold her. Avery cannot get around independently or on her own. She needs a grown-up who's doing that careful caretaking to be the person who brings her place to place. She does not know how to crawl yet, Sammy. She's getting there. I am gonna take one more question. I am gonna take one more, then I'll do a switch with Shakura. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take one more question. I'm gonna take Izzy's hand. I see other hands up. After you folks have made your work time choices, I'll be available at a chair so I can follow up with any of your questions, or you can write them to me if they come later in the day.
Does she go in the car?
That is a great question. I have to tell you something. It's getting a little hot and a little sweaty. She was born on a hot day in the summer. Because to get her from the hospital where she was born to her house, she had to take her first floor. I'd never been in a car with a baby. I had never seen a baby in a car before. I didn't know what to do. But my grown-ups were there and they gave me tips. And they said, this is how you do it. You buckle her in, pull the strap, carefully place her in there, and you just sit and watch, and she is safe as can be. So she has been in a car, and now she is a pro in the car, and she really enjoys car rides. Usually, she takes really long sleeps during the car ride. Shh, you can hear her snoring, and then she sometimes does this really funny thing. It goes like this. Ready? She does this like double snort. See if you can do that. And then she settles right back into sleep. I see those other hands. I'm going to do my switch with Shakura. Shakura, it might take me a second to move, but I'll make my way to a table. Is there a table you'd like me at?
Whatever. It's uncomfortable.
How old is she?
2.5.
Oh, my sister's 3. My sister's 2.5.